right. Well, hello. Welcome back. We got some more StarCraft coming. We have another round of Tier 3. Um, and you know what? If you guys have been kind of keeping up with who made it like into the finals and stuff, and like if y'all in CPL have been keeping up with that, um, and you're looking at who we're highlighting, these are like the teams that are like doing like we're highlighting a lot of the teams that are doing really well this season. Um, so we have again some repeats from last time. We have Shift Click, Flashcoin Whales, Barcode, and I don't believe I've casted this team yet this season, or if I have, I may have done like one series of them. Mutalica. So we have a whole slew of games to get through. Our first game tonight, our first map is going to be on Dominator. I mean, sorry, not Dominator. The other Twilight map, Deja Vu. So Deja Vu is going to be our first map, and we're going to get right into it. This first one is KN37. KN versus Shafto, which KN, you remember we featured some games with KN last night. So this is going to be, I believe, a ZVP. If if I'm wrong, I'll correct myself shortly. So anyway, without further ado, I certainly don't like to waste time, too much time getting into these games. So without further ado, let's hop right into the action. Okay. Deja Vu, by the way. Oh well, there it is. So Deja Vu is a 4-player Twilight map. This is going to be a ZVP, I believe. Yep. Okay. In the bottom right are Red Zerg. Playing for, I believe, Flashcoin Whales. It is KN37. Oops, sorry. My mouse is very sensitive, by the way. So if you see little jitters like that, it's because my mouse is very sensitive and it's wired, and I kick wires and stuff because I have long legs. So I will try to keep it to a minimum, but yeah, stuff happens. Stuff happens when you're confined. Okay, in the bottom left are Blue Protoss playing for Mutalica. It is Shafto. Deja Vu is, again, it's another kind of interesting map. We have 2 maps in the Twilight tile set this season, and Deja Vu, of the 2 of them, is the 4-player map. So that's kind of how you can tell them apart. You have your normal 4-player spawn locations with this one. And if I recall, this has, and I'm sure we'll see in a moment here. But if I recall, this map has a lot more open space in the middle, which differentiates it from Dominator, which has a lot of like small little high ground hills. It's kind of like shaped like a pizza pie. It has a lot of small high ground hills like Vermeer, but on steroids. So Shafto is going to be scouting with the first scout. Looks like we have just a pylon and a gateway. And we are going into a 2-gate, a 10-12 2-gate. So Shafto looking to put on the pressure early with some zealots. And it looks like the Zerg is starting with an overpool opener. Just looking at the game state and the time and stuff. Trying to micro that drone away. The first couple lings are out. So this is kind of a bit more of a wow. Oh, that's a lot of lings. That is 8 lings, my friend, coming straight at you. We'll see how this goes. Oh, never mind. They're not coming straight at you. So it looks like Kayan is kind of trying to work on getting the probe out of the base and getting the lings in, you know, manageable control. The Zealot does march on past the lings and goes straight for the mineral line. Oh! 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 Is he? Oh my gosh, he's stuck. Oh, bummer. No damage on that. Definitely want to wall this here. Now, once these lings do come over here and they meet this wall, you can get several lings on here. So, probably not the best surface area for... Let's see. Art of Turtle, thank you for the follow. Probably not the best surface area for the Zealots, but you know what? You could probably get some hits in maybe here. I don't know. Probably not the best positioning. Maybe a little bit further down the ramp with this many Zealots, but also kind of want to keep it sealed so I can see the decision making there. These lings do get bugged out, but they are going to be redirected and come back up here. So it doesn't look like KN is trying to engage. He's just trying to kind of see what's going on. Meanwhile, we do have a third hatchery dropping down at the natural third, and we are going into lair. So I would probably guess this is going to be a Spire play when you see this many Zealots. I would guess you're probably I'll just go into Spire and throw some mutas and see what happens, right? The downside to going very Zealot heavy early is you don't have anything that shoots up. So that is definitely a risk. But we do have a cannon coming down and we're going into core. And we have some cannons as well protecting the choke. So, you know, very kind of setting up good defenses here. And I'm expecting a Spire to drop any minute now. I really am. There it is. There goes the Spire. That's what I was looking for. Okay. So yes, this is going to be, you know, kind of, oh, I see you making lots of Zealots early. I'm just going to make some mutas because you can't shoot up. Which is, you know, not a bad response to what you see. Renak, thank you for the follow, my friend. I can't see chat right now, but I will get my chat visible in a second here after this game. So we are going straight into Goons. We have our ramp kind of sealed up, and now we're kind of transitioning into Dragoon play. Meanwhile, getting our Stargate kind of late, but this is going to be pretty good defense versus mutas, I would say. The Goons can shoot up, and they can do, once you get a few of them out, they can be a good response. As well, the cannon placement is going to be good defense as well. So it looks like Shafto is going to be pretty safe. But he is getting Corsair nonetheless. Got to get that scouting info out. And upgrading Goon range as well. If you're going to get Goons and rely on them, you definitely want range. And we have 9 Mutalisks pending for the Zerg. Interesting to put a forward gateway right there. So all in all, I like Shafto's position. I think he's definitely going to be able to defend this Muta harassment coming up. Maybe could use a few more goons, but I think he's going to do okay just by the look of it. Mutas are inbound. I'm guessing they're going to try and come up from the natural here at the north end and see if they can't get any damage in. The problem with that strategy, well, it's not a problem, but I think the Zerg is going to be surprised to find nothing there. No Nexus. No. Okay, they have some mutas there already looking. Again, mutas are a very micro-intensive unit, so if that isn't a strength of yours, you know, mutalisk play can kind of backfire against you. So that is something to think about when you do plays like this, especially at this tier. At this tier, control isn't, you know, when you're trying to juggle macro and builds, control isn't always the best. So we'll see what happens. Okay, we have plenty of goons. This is plenty of goons plus the cannons to defend the mutas. Zerg, meanwhile, is okay. I thought that was a base. Looks like Zerg is looking to maybe take a 4th base eventually. We do have Hydras, so we are transitioning into a 3-base Hydra build. I'm not sure if we have 5. Okay, it looks like we're going to 5 hatches. And I didn't show it on the screen, but there were some mutas here that tried to poke on the eastern wing of the base, the eastern flank, and found some cannons there as well and kind of bugged out. So we have some Corsairs coming in here. Now, granted, as far as I've seen in this cast, Shafto is not really scouted with these. So this is the first time he's going to actually get some scouting intel. And also try and supply block his opponent, which is always a beautiful thing. 4th base is going down for Zerg. So we do have a move out with these Zealots, but I don't think that they're going to get... I mean, they're going to kill a bunch of Zerglings, but with the Mutalisks here to support, I really don't think that they're going to... I mean, obviously, they're not very effective, unfortunately. So, but it was a poke out. He did kind of see what was coming. And he does have... I think he has plenty of goons and cannons to defend any kind of aggression that might come up his ramp. The problem right now that Shafto has got to be thinking about is I need to expand. I need to get my natural base up if I want to be in this game in the long run. Because right now Zerg is on 4 bases, so... and Shafto needed to expand probably when Zerg was still on 3. So Shafto is getting further and further behind in economy. But as you can see, I don't think he feels very comfortable moving out. So Zerg has kind of had a really good contain on him at this ramp. And so, you know, it just kind of is what it is. But the longer it takes him to get a base going, the shorter lived this game is going to be. Well, I like to move to supply block. Like, at least we're being annoying, and we're out on the map being annoying. But Zerg has now yeah, 6 hatcheries. This is going to be kind of the final engagement here. These Corsairs are going to go down, but this I don't. Oh, never mind. I'm wrong. This is a few more goons are dropping than I'm thinking should drop. So, what are the upgrades on this? Oh, well, that explains a lot. They're 1/1 Hydras, so that's why they're killing 0/0 goons so easy. So, very good job for KN keeping up with the upgrades in this match. I totally wasn't paying attention to that during the cast, but this is an excellent edge to have in an engagement. GG. Zerg takes game 1. I liked Shafto's approach to the early game, but I really feel like just taking, 10 minutes into the game and no natural. That's that's not a recipe for staying in the game for too long. But he had to have, like, I mean, like when you play this matchup often enough, you just start knowing when you're in trouble. You just start getting a sense for it. So I'm sure he probably, I mean, he's been playing this game long enough. I'm sure he had some idea that that he was in hot water. I'm trying to see how I can see my chat, but I can't see my chat. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay. So we'll just go right into this. Okay. Alright, so game 2, we're on to Vermeer. Which is kind of a modern classic at this point. In the top right, our blue Protoss, we have Shafto playing for Metallica, and in the bottom right, our red Zerg, KN37 playing for Flashcoin Whales. So this map is kind of an interesting map. I mean, if you haven't played it before, some of you probably have played this map plenty between ladder seasons and CPL and stuff. If you're from CPL and watching, like I said, it's kind of a modern classic at this point. But one of the neat characteristics about this map that I've always liked is this idea of, like, you kind of have like this expanding territory. You have like kind of basically 4 bases in your territory that you have to manage, and they're all very like kind of closely linked together. So if you have a mobile army, it's very easy to, I feel like anyway, if you have a mobile army, it's very easy to manage where to go and where to position your army and stuff. Vermeer also was a map, I think it was the first map that featured these kind of strips of high ground. You'll see here these kind of little high ground strips that you could put like tanks on and lurkers, or you can stage your army there when you're getting ready to attack. So it's another pretty cool feature of this map. Shafto is going for a gate expand instead of a 2-gate, which I don't dislike this. I like this much better because the fact that we can secure a natural base. So I like this. And even with the last game when we built 2-gate, I really feel like if we were going to build a 2-gate plus cannons and stuff, I really feel like the forward 2-gate at the choke probably would have worked out better in the long run last game. So I like the fact that we're building our gates and our stuff more forward here to try and secure this base. It's going to be critical again to be on at least 2 base when Zerg is on 3 base. Sorry, I just saw the chat. Yeah, my stream's still a little glitchy this weekend. Trying to get my computer back to normal. So I apologize about certain features being a little wonky. But hopefully we'll be able to work on that. So it looks like now we're going into... Oh, he sees the den! Oh, that was such a good scout. Dude, that is a hero probe right there. He totally saw the den. He's going to know this is lurker coming. This is going to be like some sort of a 6-minute lurker play. That was good. Oh, good scout. Yeah, so gonna go ahead and pop that Nexus down. Keep building zealots. Probably throw down some more gateways here to, get more ground numbers out. So we're gonna have 2 zealots come in here and poke. There aren't. Okay, so there's gonna be a couple lings here, and there's some hydras as well. So, they're probably not gonna get much done, but they are gonna see the lings and the hydras already. Which is, again, this is going to be some critical information. Like, we see the den this early. We see hydras. We see the lair and the den. Like, we see everything. We know what's coming. So another really good scout. He sees the hydras already out. He's probably going to want to... I don't know how to respond to this. He definitely wants cannons, for sure. But he's probably going to want goons and, range, and he's probably going to want observers. Because, yeah, range goons and lurkers don't mix. Well, range goons, observers, and lurkers don't mix. So, we'll see what Shaft... So yeah, he's gonna need, if he wants to bust this, he's gonna need hydras. But the Zerg definitely has the Protoss contained here. So I'm curious to see what Zerg's play is going to be. I would go for a Hydra bust. If it were me, I would go for a Hydra Bust, but I'm not sure what KN's plan would be. Maybe a Ling Bust. He might like the Evo chamber. Like I don't know. Nah, he wouldn't do a Ling Bust. Why would he do a Ling Bust if he has Hydras? I don't know. We'll see what the play is. But he does have a nice soft contain for now. Shafto does not have any way to break out of this. So his next kind of benchmark is that he has about a 8 to 10 minute timer where he's going to want to get a third started. So that's kind of like his next benchmark. But he is upgrading Goon range, and he is going Citadel. So okay, there's the Robo. So he is going to go range Goons with Observers to try and break out of this contain. Oh, there's a... Okay, so it looks like Zerg is going into a 5-hatch Hydra play. So this is going to be massive amounts of Hydras. He's not going to have a lot right now, but once these 2 hatcheries get the larva that they need, this is going to be some serious Hydras coming in, probably, you know, I would say maybe the next minute and a half. So I don't know if Shafto quite has right now the gateway infrastructure to deal with a 5-hatch Hydra play, and plus all the zealots that he's building. We'll see how this works. But Zerg is morphing more lurkers, just beefing up the contain even more. And is just rallying Hydras. So this is going to be quite the bust coming up here. You know, once he mixes in the Lings, I really I don't think that I don't know. Ooh, yeah, don't want the Ops to die. So we do have some Templar, and Storm is on the way, but I don't know. I think the Storm is going to be a little too late here. I think all we need is like one more big macro cycle of Hydras, and we could probably just run in and bust. So I don't know if the Storm is going to be on time for this one. Mutiler, thank you so much for the follow. Yeah, this is just... Yeah, once these Hydras get up here, this is just going to be an A move right in. So, this Templar doesn't even have enough energy to throw down a Storm yet. So, totally snipeable. And, well, I mean, he's going to be able to throw down one, so... Oh, we're going to do a Lurker Doom Drop. Oh, that's going to be fun. What would be really cool is to knock on the front door with this and then Lurker Doom Drop in the main at the same time. Do a two-pronged attack. That would be pretty cool. Oh my gosh. This is just gonna, he's just gonna drop right in. That's wild. I was I was not expecting that. Oh, yeah, get the storms out. Oh, storm them. Oh my gosh. We have no more energy. Oh my gosh. And we have another attack trying to come up in the front. But these guys do have storm. And nice storm on those clumps of hydras. That's exactly what you want to see. So he had the right idea. But yeah, nice storms off with these. There were like 3 of those things that just totally got that Overlord there. That was crazy. Yeah, so man, he might actually be able to break out of this. Does he have enough energy? He has a couple storms left. He has a few. He has enough energy. He could totally break out. He is going to break out of here. Oh my goodness. That's awesome. Always an awesome feeling. And it's plenty of time. He still has plenty of time to start a 3rd Nexus. Oh. Oh yeah, pull back. More Lings are coming in. This is, I mean, you know, Zerg can do this at any minute, just like throw all their larvae at Lings. And he's out of storms, so if all of these move in, this could be enough to just totally overwhelm these Dragoons. Yeah, that's a, oh, he has one more, he has some more left. Sorry. Are they gonna break this? No, they're not. There's too many cannons. But that's a lot more Lings that are coming. And the Zerg has succeeded in keeping the Protoss onto base at 15 minutes into the game. So this is kind of like in the next like minute or so is kind of when, maybe 2 minutes, is when the Protoss is going to start mining out. And as you can see, these mineral patches, they are getting kind of low. And even these ones are starting to lose some of their shine. So we'll see. The clock is now ticking. The Protoss needs to expand and hold a 3rd and keep their economy going. Although Shafto does have a bank, so yeah, there's a lot of multitasking involved in the Protoss end for this. A lot of, you know, trying to be everywhere at once. A nice storm on the Lings. There's still plenty more. Yeah, so we are going to have a bunch of Hydras coming up. And Zerg is expanding to a 4th base. You know, at this point of the game, I wouldn't mind seeing the Zerg take a 5th either. They've had such a stranglehold on the Protoss. The Protoss has not been able to successfully break out and gain control of the map. So they've had such a stranglehold on the Protoss this whole game. I would love to see them, you know, press the issue and expand more. But we have this. Oh my goodness. So much blood. So much blood. So, yeah, okay, so now finally for the first time this game, Shafto actually has some map presence, which is always nice. I've played so many games, I know how good that feels. Zerg has one more round of Lings about to burst. They could totally finish off this force here. This is close. So this does get finished off, but Shafto has macro going on back at home. So, you know, we are on 5 gates. Kind of low. Do want to be on 7 or 8 gates, I would say. But still trying to be a nuisance. Looks like he is going to supply block the Zerg. And just going to send in Zealot after Zealot after Zealot. And with no Overlords present, these DTs are actually going to do some work here. Oh, there is one. I see him. He's right there. Those DTs aren't going to get anything done. And I don't feel like there's enough Speed Zealot to contest the Hydras. So once again, I feel like the Zerg macro engine is just gonna prevail here. It can feel so hard trying to beat a Zerg in a macro game. We have another wave of Zealots. Really just trying to get something done. I don't think these are going to be very successful. Yeah, nope. Zerg, meanwhile, once Zerg's overlords get replenished, they're going to be able to just do another macro cycle of Hydras and just totally run up in here. Shafto is mined out in the main and very close to being mined out in the natural. So again, this is that timer I was kind of telling you about where, you know, if you're Protoss, you definitely want to get that third going. He does start it. If he can hold this third base, there's a lot of Lings coming, a lot of Hydras coming in to contest it, but if he can keep this third base up, he can stay in the game. Nope. There they are. They do break the pylons, and that's just way too much Zerg. That is just way too much Zerg. The Zerg macro engine is so strong. GG. Well done. Nice play there. I really liked the choice to kind of start off with a 2-hatch lurker and contain, and then go into like a 5-hatch Hydra play. I really liked that that decision-making thought process there. So, excellent series from Kason, Kayan. Also excellent series from Shafto. You know, this is not an easy match for Protoss. So, very well done, both players. But love the strategy from the Zerg. All right, moving on into the next series. We have what is this? Who are we gonna do? Ooh, I like that one. Okay, we have 2 series that I'm really gonna be happy going over. So, our next series is gonna be Jarl versus Crimson Joe, a ZVZ. And we're gonna go right back to Deja Vu. It's weird. It's like we've been here before. All right. So yeah. So Deja Vu, as you can see, is kind of it's a 4-player map, and it really has this big open area here in the middle, which very much differentiates it from Dominator. It basically has it's kind of like Fighting Spirit, where it has your typical kind of 3-base. That you can move around with a mobile army, but it has this really open high ground area in the middle here. So, very a different feel from Dominator for sure. All right. In the top left on Deja Vu, our blue Zerg, it is Jarl. And in the top left, sorry, this is the top left. I don't know if I said that. In the bottom right are red Zerg, Crimson Joe playing for Metallica. Ooh, and I like the choice to cross-spawn Scout with the first Overlord. Oh, I wonder if that's where I can go to try that next break I get. So it looks like we're going into a 9 pool for the blue Zerg and a 9 pool for the red Zerg. 9 pools all around. And same exact opener. So if I have to, it looks like Jarl is going to get the first scout with this cross-spawn Scout Overlord, assuming, yeah, so this Overlord's going this way. So that's pretty wild. And I'm guessing that's one of the benefits to doing this is that every once in a while you get a first scout if it's a cross spawn. And the first set of lings are out for everybody. You know, in this matchup, even if you don't scout your opponent first right away, it's still okay because there's plenty of lings to go around. Plenty of lings for everybody. So it looks like so Crimson Joe's going to have a slightly faster Spire by the look of it, and Jarl is going to have slightly faster Ling speed. So, and by slightly, I mean like, you know, there's probably going to be like a 30-second difference between both of these, if that. So, I'm expecting to see the Spire start right now. So both went for the exact same opener, but took slightly different deviations with what to do with their gas and how they're prioritizing their gas. But look, you can see, right? It's not much different. It's like, you know, maybe a 30 seconds difference. So it just means that Crimson Joe's going to have slightly faster mutas, and Jarl's going to have more speed links, apparently. Both can be useful, you know. If the mutas are in a stalemate, the extra speed links could really just totally decide the game. So... by comparison, too much investment into speedlings, you won't have enough mutas. You know, so it's very interesting and sound tech choices for both players. So if Jarl can actually break this ramp with all these lings, there's, you know, mutas aren't done yet. Oh, they're just about to finish. So if he can actually break this ramp, might stand a chance. There's only one muta out. I don't think it's going to be enough. Yeah, no, I don't think this is going to go very well for the Blue Zerg here. Scourges see everything that's going on, and no mutas out, and 2 lings. And Jarl right now isn't building. So he's building Scourge. He's building stuff to fight mutas, but we'll see. I don't see this going very well for the Blue Zerg. We have 2 rounds of lings coming straight down, trying to kind of, you know, do some sort of a Hail Mary play, but There are plenty of links here waiting at the ramp to defend. Drones, okay, so he did pull drones. So there we go. There's drones not mining. And the mutas are coming back in for another attack. I don't know, man, between the drones not mining and the fact that there are just too many lings at the wall and red has mutas and blue doesn't. I think this is GG. Yep, GG. Game 1 goes to Crimson Joe. Excellent. All right. Very nice game 1. All right, let's see if I can go and fix this chat thing again. Okay. I don't know, man. There we go. Ha! Okay, I have chat now. Okay. Okay. So, yay, I can see what you all are writing. Okay. All right, now we can move on. We can move on and okay, so up next, by the way, Meek Terran, Art Turtle, Crimson Joe, thank you all for showing up in the chat. Meek Terran, we do have a TVP coming up after this. For sure. Okay. But first, we have to go back to Vermeer. All right. Game 2. All right. In the top left on Vermeer, it is our Blue Zerg playing for, I believe, Flashcoin Whales. It is Jarl. And in the bottom right, our Red Zerg, Crimson Joe, playing for Mutalica. Okay. So, it looks like we're going to do a 9 pool again on both sides. Why not? You know, really what that last game seemed to come down to me was just what we chose to prioritize our gas on. Oh, never mind. We have a hatch first coming down for Crimson Joe. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's not a hatch first. It's a 12 pool. Okay. So, I was wrong. This is a 9 pool versus a 12 pool opening. And once again, we have the cross-spawn scout. Isn't it crazy? 2 games in a row, cross-spawn on 4-player maps. The cross-spawn scout with the Overlord works 2 games in a row. Isn't that crazy? So again, we kind of got our initial batch of lings guarding the ramp. All very normal ZVZ stuff. We have our layer starting and our ling speed starting. And we're going to have our spire coming up momentarily here. Meanwhile, we have 2 hatches coming down at the natural off of a 12 pool. So definitely going for that stronger economy in order to get the bigger dividends in macro. Is a little bit slight risk here, but with the ramp here, this is a little bit more easily defensible. But you know, throw a sunken colony in here somewhere, and I think this is plenty doable. I like the link positioning right here. So Spire is going down for Jarl. Looks like we do have a sunken colony coming in here for Crimson Joe. And I would suspect our next big gas spend is going to be Spire for the Red Zerg. So Jarl is going to have the advantage of having the faster Spire. With the Evo chamber, though, we are going to be able to build. Spore colonies to defend mutas, which is exactly what Crimson Joe is planning on doing. So we do have the spore colonies coming up, 2 of them at each mining location. So this is looking like a very strong defensible position. I love the Sim City in here and the sunken. It's not going to be easy to break. So, mutas are not going to get much done here. And in fact, one of them does just get totally annihilated by just flying too close to the spore. So there is absolutely nothing that Jarl can do this game. Meanwhile, Crimson Joe certainly has the superior economy. Not only do they have 2 mining bases, but now they have 2 extractors as well. So it looks like Crimson Joe is maybe Maybe gonna go into lurkers, I would say. It's probably why you would want all that gas. There are mutas out. There's not much. There's like, these are like 5 mutas here, so there isn't many mutas out, but they're out. And eventually they're gonna try, and I would say they're probably gonna try and get a certain number to where you can just like target fire down these spore colonies. But these are massive damage. I think these are like the best static defense in the game. So it's not going to be easy. But we do have 7 mutas to try and do the job here. Jarl coming in across the map will probably be there in a few seconds. Now there are Hydras out, and it doesn't look like he's going to go for lurkers, Crimson Joe. It looks like he's just going to go for a 3-hatch Hydra. Off 2 base. Yeah. Spores are just so crazy. Look at all that damage. So he does have to pull drones, but not one of these spore colonies. Look at this. This had like 30 points of damage amid all of that. Now he did get some damage on the den, but not nearly enough. So we're gonna see what happens when we send a bunch of lings across. But this is this is not gonna be this is not gonna be easy to get into. This is not a breakable position. Certainly not with this many lings. Yeah, not really finding any damage. You know, meanwhile, Crimson Joe is just chilling, macroing here on 2 mining bases. No drones have been killed in all of this. They've been pulled, but no drones have been killed. We're still at 24 drones. Which, this is a pretty substantial lead. You know, 8 drones, 9 drones now. So, Jarl is trying to go out to more mining bases and more hatcheries. I would guess by the look of it, he's trying to do his own 5-hatch Hydra transition here. But I think that the economic lead that Crimson Joe's had this whole game, I just don't know if he's going to be able to catch up. There we go. I'm just waiting for this trigger to be pulled. So we are now sending all of the Hydras across the map. And still keeping the lings at home. There's still a few things here to help defend and stuff. But this is no small army. And again, once again, they're all +1/+1. So these are just going to be able to walk right in past these lings. And these are also 0/0 mutas too. So excellent transition here. GG. Love the Hydra play. Excellent 2-0 there. Okay. Up next, guys, we got wonder why my thing's all blurry. Oh, whatever. I'll take it. This is way smoother than last night. I'll take it. Okay. Alright, so we're going to go into the final series of this bracket. Jackie Nuts versus Thundersteel. A TVP. Back to Deja Vu. Here we go. Oh, 1 second. Alright. Yes, you can. Let me activate my mic and the voice. Alright. Hello? Alright, so I am going to have a co-caster with me. We're trying to get it worked out. Let's see. Let me check my voice and video. Oh, okay. Okay, hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect, awesome. Alright. Nick Taryn, how are you?
Good, you?
I'm good.
Nice.
Alright, so let me get the...
So, is it still a Flash Coin Whale, or we switched to another team?
Yes, so it's still Flashcoin whales.
Nice.
I'm gonna turn the frame rate on to 30 just to save my resources. Okay.
Okay, I'll watch from Twitch then.
It should be okay. It's just, not perfect. Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Alright.
I'm ready.
Okay, cool. You're ready. I'm ready. Let's get this rolling. Alright. So I have a guest co-caster, McTaryn, with me today.
Hello.
In the top left, our blue Terran, Jackie Nuts, playing for, I believe, Flashcoin Whales. And in the bottom left, our red Protoss Thundersteel playing for Metallica.
So, is it your team, Metallica?
Correct. Yes, it's Metallica.
Nice. I'm in the Flash Coin Whale.
Yeah, I think Flashcoin Whale and Barcode are like two of the most stacked teams this season.
Yeah, and also Shift Click, the one in final at the moment with Barcode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Shift Click's another good one.
Yeah.
So apart from the really quick scout, everything is looking pretty normal.
Yep.
But, you know, definitely want to spot those proxy 99 gates.
But I think the Protoss took his gas, so seems gonna build the core.
Yeah, it's all looking pretty normal. I think that this gas timing looks pretty normal to me for both sides.
Yeah.
Protoss is going to get the first scout. Although this was also a very early scout from Protoss too. This should not be here right when the core is still spinning. Oh no, maybe it should. I don't know.
Yeah, because he got the first scout, right? He was able to get there very fast.
Yeah, I can't tell if he scouted at 13 or if he scouted at like 11 or 12 or something.
And Terran got the last scout. He's a bit unlucky, but good for him. There's no zealot coming or early attack pressure.
Does get there when the first goon pops. That's unfortunate. But Protoss is spending a bit of time going after this SCV.
Yeah.
That is a slight misoptimization. Terran, meanwhile, going Vulture first.
Yeah, he's still mining gas with the 3 SCV. Maybe it's just you want to keep mining gas, or it's 2-fact.
Oh yeah, it's 2-fact.
2-fact build. I like it.
This is 3 Marines and a Vulture.
Yeah, that's definitely enough to fight the first Dragoon without range.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this could probably take that fight, these two, but you're just throwing your shields away for nothing, you know.
Yeah.
3
Oh,
factory. Wow.
Okay, it's like very all in.
So, looks like Thundersteel is going for just your good old 23 Nexus. Looks like he's just going to be building that second gateway. So not going for a 3-gate. This is a pretty nice economical approach, particularly if you want to go for arbiters and stuff.
Yeah.
Just save the extra gateway. Oh wow, 3 vultures out already, and the first tank is coming. Is he? I wonder. Is he going to move out with the first tank and then rally 3 factories worth of vultures out? I almost feel like that's the plan.
Yeah, I guess that's the plan.
So nice target firing on the vulture. You know,
You should wait for a siege tank before moving like this, though.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like when you do some kind of a 2-fact push, like the tank is really like the meat and potatoes of the push.
Yeah.
But Vultures, once you get like 3 goons or more, like you can start target firing down vultures. They start to become less of a nuisance. So, just something to think about. But the tank is out. Oh. Oh, and it's going to go down because they're targeting it. Oh,
I
man.
think he also for don't upgrade Spider Mine, right? You don't have mine. I think he went for speed and then siege.
Yeah.
So you don't have any Spider Mine for repeal the Dragoon.
Yeah, if you're, by the way, like if you are, if you do have to worry about goons and stuff, offensive mines with vultures will make goons run so hard. Like literally just walk up into their face and drop some spider mines. They will run.
Yeah.
So this is I feel like the plan is kind of backfiring just because of managing everything. But
Yeah.
I do like that we have a siege tank on the high ground. We do need to take this expansion sooner than later. We're already at 8 minutes in the game.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's a potential for a push anymore, so better just defend and expand. But I like the Protoss position a lot. Like you have a double the worker and 2 base.
Yeah, so it looks like he's going up to 5 gates on 2 base, which it is slightly less optimal than 4, but you can totally go up to 5 gates on. Well, actually, I take that back. No, this is 2 base, so yeah, he can go up to 5 gates. He can go up to a maximum of 8 optimally. The observer's out to spot the spider mines, so they're less of a threat. But I do like the siege tank position here.
Yeah. With the barracks floating on top. Yeah, that's good.
So we are getting an academy that's just finishing up now for Terran. And Protoss is trying to take a third. This is also a very late third, by the way. Like 9.5 minute third is pretty late. So, but Protoss is spending a lot of time just building a ton of ground units and rallying and trying to keep the Terran contained here. But I feel like once you start to get siege tanks like this, and once you start to get a good position, you can just... Can't you just like leapfrog the tanks forward and just push back the goons?
It depends because there is no vulture support. So actually, I think the dragoons at the moment they could snipe the siege tank if they really want to, like just go. Because now all the siege tank are like in front, and I don't know if there are any zealot coming or only dragoon.
There's only dragoons right now. He isn't building zealots, but he's in a position to. He should be upgrading speed if he hasn't yet. You kind of don't want to send... Okay, he's building zealots now. He might still zealot bomb. Okay, he's just starting lake speed, so he's gonna eventually go for speed zealots. Yeah, so this tank up here on the high ground kind of makes this position not very... Like, you can go in and probably snipe all these tanks with these goons, but between the spider mines and this guy up on the high ground, you're still gonna get a lot of splash damage.
Yeah.
So this isn't something you can confidently push into. But I like that he's slowly pushing the tanks, like he's using mines and then pushing tanks forward behind the mines. And the further he pushes, the less comfortable he makes this. Oh yeah, that's a good catch too. So we're focusing so much on positioning here. It is
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
54 workers versus 24 workers.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I feel like the Protoss will just max a good army there and go. And it's probably gonna work.
Yeah, this is the point where. So we have 3 bases, 56 workers, and 8 gateways. This is the point where you can just literally press all the buttons and make all the units. And just A move. Like we're really just getting to the point where Protoss can just A move right in. Look at that, 64 supply to 125.
Yeah. That's double the supply. And now the tank in front like that are very exposed. So I feel like with the Zealot leading and the Dragoon behind, the Protoss army can just crush those
Yeah.
uh, those siege tank.
Yeah, he is gonna go he's trying to go arbiter, but he can literally just like A move right in. But I agree with you though, like this is very exposed without vultures.
Yeah.
Oh, and a DT in, because why not?
Yeah, it's happening. Let's go.
The DT goes right up against the tank, the spider mine kills the tank, and the DT lives. Oh, such is Terran, right? Oh my gosh. I have heard so many Terran horror stories.
Oh yeah. It's unfair sometimes.
GG.
GG.
Alright. Game 1. Okay. Alright. Oh, whoops. Nope, I already did that. There we go. Vermeer. Okay. So we're on to game 2. Are you a fan of this map at all?
Oh yeah, it's a very good map for Terran TVP.
Yeah, I don't dislike it. It's I was definitely fond of it when it first came out. All right. In the top right are Blue Terran, Jackie Nuts, and in the bottom right are Red Protoss, Thundersteel. So I feel like that last game, like I think Terran had good ideas of what they wanted to do, but You know, Terran is definitely like one of those races where, or it is the. I don't know. I think it's the hardest race to control your units and
Yeah,
maneuver your units.
yeah. I think when he tried to move with the vulture before the first siege tank popped out, I think that was a bit of a mistake because he was trying all in, like push with 3 factory, 1 base. But he lost like all his unit before his first siege tank popped out, so that was not unfortunate for him. And it's very hard to come back and a good position when like you try all in and it's not working.
Mick, you're quiet. Do you have your mic up all the way?
Let me see. Yeah, my mic is 100% at the moment.
Okay.
Yes.
Um. All right. Then I'm gonna see about maybe turning. Actually, you sounded a little bit better there.
Okay.
So looking pretty normal on both sides. I think the Terran should be probably building their factory shortly after. Pretty shortly here.
Yeah.
Lot of gas for only 14 supply. So I feel like we also need a supply depot as well. Oh, I like the I like the gas steal at the natural. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure we're going to see another 23 Nexus or 24 Nexus. Maybe not. Should be building a pylon. We're supply blocked right now. So we've got a CC coming down at 4 minutes. And
Oh, that's nice.
and a Dragoon on the field and some Marines, but no Vulture. So this Dragoon is just kind of chilling here and not really going in and harassing. But maybe we're waiting for the second Dragoon. I'm not sure. But
I like to see the Terran expanding on this game. I feel like, you know, it's more forgivable when you just like Turtle get your bigger army and only defend. Because I feel like Terran is the best race for defending, like with siege tank.
yeah.
Like I think at lower level it's better to just like defend early game and get a huge army and only then try to move out. Trying like an early push with 3 factory on 1 base, it's very hard to execute.
So I don't think this is working out. Like, these two goons are just going here, and like I said, I mean, you know, goons could just totally wreck Marines. And they can totally wreck this vulture too. So they just like these two literally just walked up here and killed everything.
Yeah, you should pull a couple SCV. SCV are decent against Dragoon.
They are, and they're very good at like throwing them off, like body blocking.
Yeah.
I think the bunker could have been started a little earlier as well. So we have another Dragoon coming up. And probably just rallying them at this point. Yeah, it looks like he's just rallying them up. So there's now...
Okay, but the siege tank is there now. Maybe if the tank can kill those two Dragoon.
Got
and
close!
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a short game.
Yeah, don't...
In this kind of situation, you really need to defend with SCV. Otherwise, it's just like snowball, like the Dragoons count getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
They can pretty much like snipe every unit that pop out of the barracks and factory at this point.
Yeah, at this point, he's just rallying them over.
Yeah.
And he's going up to like 4 gateways. So he's just gonna be able to rally a ton over.
Look, the SCV, they will kill the Dragoon. Boom.
Right? SCVs are awesome. They're like little armored dudes.
Yeah. You know, I'm used to play Terran, and when I are facing with drone, Zerg or Protoss, and I try to pull my worker for defense or something, I like it feels very bad. Like, they die so quick, man. Like the probe and the drone compared to SCV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, he's supply block. That's... Sure, yeah. I don't need more pylons.
It's over, unfortunately. It's never going to be recoverable.
Yeah, and it's a hard... This is a hard... this could be a hard position to just like, oh my god, I have to GG. You know? But... Oh!
Oh,
but
nice,
look at that.
Nice good micro. Boom.
Yep. So that was a nice series.
Yeah. Yeah, Thunder still played well, man. I feel like his build was good.
Mm-hmm. Do you I don't know. Do you think that series, if the Terran had just had like their bunker up sooner, like, do you think that could have gone maybe differently?
Yeah, I think so. It's hard, man. The early game with like your first unit and the Dragoons or Zealot coming to your base, it's always very hard to defend. But when you start like, if you can just defend it with bunker and start having like 2 siege tank and like couple vulture, it's when it start to be more like release, and like you can go to the longer game. But the early game, it's always hard.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have so we're done with the first bracket. We are on to the next one, and I think this is going to be exciting. We have I think we're going to do Mini Renak versus Father's Belt next, which is going to be another TVP. And yeah, I'm looking at the lineup for this matchup, and I'm excited. I've seen these players play, and I think we're going to see some good games.
Okay, I need to go because I have to go play with Vint on the UPL. But that was fun, man. Thanks to be with me there, and see you later, man.
Yep. See you later. Thank you for stopping by, and it was fun. It was
Yeah,
fun.
no problem. See, goodbye, everyone.
All right. Good luck. Have fun. Okay. So we're going to go right into the next one. Mini Renak versus Father's Belt. Right back into Deja Vu. And yeah. All right. In the bottom right, our magenta Terran, it is Father's Belt. And in the bottom left, our yellow Protoss, it is Mini, or also Mini Renak. And I love seeing the APM here. I love that both these players, they're just going crazy with the hotkeys. I imagine that the first probably 30 supply or so of this is going to look very, very much the same, but that's pretty much every TVP. You know. So I like building the supply depot and the barracks right next to the Vespine Geyser and the refinery. And Protoss, of course, building their 10 gateway. It looks like... Where's the ramp on this map? I think the ramp is maybe over here, or maybe up here. I don't know. I can't quite tell from here. But that doesn't look like a bad position either way. Okay, yeah. So, this is not bad. So we are going with a Zealot first, a 14 Zealot. And Terran, we are kind of just doing our factory opening. So we are looking to take a kind of a more defensive approach as Terran. You know, we did go Vulture first, but we are. Oh, there we go. We're sending it out now. I personally, I have no issue playing defensively, especially at this stage. You know, where sometimes weird things happen. But this game does have defender's advantage, so you know, defensive play is a sound strategy. So we are sending the Zealot and Goons out to kind of just go and poke. And presumably we're gonna protect the ramp as well. Oh no, these are 3 Goons. We're keeping the Zealot at the ramp. Okay. So good pullback. Definitely want to try and find the sweet spot. And we only have 2 SCVs repairing this bunker, so this is going to drop. And these Goons can literally just go in there and snipe these Marines. Oh, but siege mode does finish. Going to need to pull back. And Terran now up to 2 factories. Protoss up to 2 gateways, building some zealots. Oh, okay. So it looks like we're gonna zealot bomb. Get a shuttle with some zealots in, and I'm guessing this is maybe going to be some sort of a bulldog play. This is, so we haven't expanded, and this is very late for not taking a natural nexus. So this is going to be, you know, we are kind of riding on this this play to really just break this, and yeah. So we are gonna a 6-minute and 45-second natural expansion. We have a couple more zealots ready to fill the shuttle, and we have we have our goon. So it looks like we're getting ready to maybe execute the attack here. Yeah. And nice job sniping the SCV. Now, bear in mind, there is a bunker here, but there are no turrets right now. And there's a few siege tanks. So this play could work, but we're running out of time because the turrets are just starting to go up. So we'll see what happens. That didn't work out very well. So we did manage to succeed to kill all but 1 tank, but this is really good SimCity from Father's Belt. This is very this is not easy to push into. So, and now Protoss is going to be way behind because that attack didn't work out. Father's Belt is at 51 supply and 33 workers to 26. So, sorry. So we have 2 gates here and 4 gates here. So we are going up to 6 gates, and we are going to have a mining base going on here. A second mining base. A little bit late, but yeah, I would say all in all, I'm liking Father's Belt's position. We definitely have a worker advantage. And now we're going up to 5 gates. So we have, 5 factories. So we're going to have almost as many factories as there are gateways. Protoss isn't going up to 8 gateways. And Father's Belt is going to be able to just, I feel like, really just hit a timing here. You know, they didn't lose. They lost a couple tanks for defense, but they didn't really lose their defensive base, nor did they lose their economy. So, you know, I really feel like this is a really good position. Now, that being said, even though Mini is down in workers, they are they went up to 6 gates and are just pumping units out of them. So, but it is 10 minutes into the game and we don't even have a citadel yet. We don't even have legs started. So these zealots, you're pretty much all you're going to be able to do with the zealots is try and zealot bomb the tanks, which it can work, it can be effective, but you don't have speed zealots at your disposal. So this 5 factory push that's going to come out here, I feel like it's going to be a lot more effective. Guys. So, okay, so yeah, so pretty much we're just, you know, kind of collecting stuff up and trying to figure out when to pull the trigger. But this 5, yeah, okay, so we have our sorry. There we go. We have our 5 gate push coming out of Terran. Probably need more vultures, but this is plenty of tanks to worry about. And now Goliath's mixed in. Okay, so we're on 7 gateways, and it looks like we're trying to go up to Arbiter for Protoss. And we're also trying to take another base up here as well. If we can actually succeed in walling this off and taking a base, this is going to be... It could work, but we have to deal with this tank line outside, and not just... Yeah. Okay. That's unfortunate. So we unfortunately lost a bunch of probes in the middle of a probe transfer. And we're waiting 30 seconds for more goons to finish. So I really feel like this is probably, yep, probably it. GG. I applaud Mini for just trying to play this game out. You know, tried to go for kind of a bulldog play and it didn't really work out, and started their natural nexus really late. As a consequence, very behind. Despite all of that, still tried to play it out and fight against this overwhelming 5 factory push that just, you know, the Terran just didn't lose any momentum, and the Protoss is way behind, so it happens. All right, so we're going into game 2. Okay. In the bottom right are yellow Protoss Mini, and in the bottom left are magenta Terran, Father Spelt. Yeah, just kind of last game was just a classic example of doing an all in, not succeeding, and then being behind. But again, despite being behind, I appreciate that Manny tried to play it out. So we're going up to 10 workers now for both players. Gateway's dropping, and it looks like, okay, we're not going to scout after Gateway. I like the Sim City here. So it looks like we're going to 11 scout after we start the barracks. Okay. Just be vigilant. In this match with both races, 13 is kind of the normal scout timing. You build your gas on 12 and then you scout on 13. That's kind of like the normal thing for Terran, and then for Protoss, you drop your core and then you scout on 13. And the reason why it's such a normal thing is that proxy 9-9 gates are kind of like just this weird tricky thing, but going 2-gate in this matchup is generally not a good idea. So unless you're proxying the gateways, 2-gate Zealot doesn't really make any sense. And if you're not going to 2-gate Zealot, then you're going to 1-gate Tech, right? You're gonna 1-gate core and Tech. So just when you play the odds, odds are you're gonna be just doing the normal 1-gate core. It's very standard, and you can hold plenty if you're good with your unit control. You can hold plenty of aggression as Protoss, so there's no reason not to. It's nice to throw a 2-gate in just to kind of spice things up, but it's certainly not a standard procedure to where I feel like it warrants scouting on 11. But anyway. So I like that the Terran has. So they're starting their base at 4 minutes. Um, and they probably it's good. They probably want to start their bunker. Um, Probably still a wee bit late because the goon is on the way. But you know, that's StarCraft. So the bunker does get done, and we're going to be able to load it up, which is an improvement from last game. So Protoss is kind of going for this one base, three gate robo. Again, kind of a late natural. Um, even if you're gonna go into a 3 gate robo, it's still very normal to get your Nexus before your robo and then your 2 gates after your robo. So again, Protoss kind of kind of opting for the 1 gate for the 1 base play, and again rallying goons for a bulldog. So we're gonna try and go for the bulldog opener again, but I don't know, man. Last game, like our Terran just like Father's Belt just had some wicked anti-bulldog SimCity. So we'll see what happens. Another thing I feel like is with this race, with the Protoss race, generally attacking everything at once together is the better idea. So we'll see what happens. Oh, okay. So the Zealot Bomb didn't do much, and yeah, so this is even... Yeah, so this is once again held, but at least we kept our goons alive. This is really good. So at least we kept our goons alive, but the downside is we once again have a very late natural. And we're now behind in workers. You know, and now the Terran is going up to 5 factory. So once again, I feel like we're just gonna see. I feel like we're just gonna see a 5 factory push. You know, we're just gonna see the Terran push out with 5 tanks and a bunch of vultures. Now, if you were Protoss and you didn't macro, right, and you did a 28 Nexus and you were very defensive, you know, you would have at least 8 goons. Actually, no, by now in 8 minutes of the game, you would have way more than 9 goons. You would have at least 12 goons at this point. So. But you know, I like the idea of trying a tactic, you know, and it's certainly a classic one to try. But this is a very just defensive Terran who knows his SimCity, and has good enough timings to counterattack once he defends you. So we're now up to 50 workers and 5 factories. And we have some tanks. We have a bunch of tanks, and we have some Goliaths. And I'm guessing after this round of tanks and Goliaths, we're just going to put a couple rounds of vultures and just run. Because this is certainly quite the scary mech army. Meanwhile, we're at 4 gates right now, getting Citadel and presumably legs, and we have you know, a decent number of dragoons, but what we really don't have is, just because we were just so behind, right? We just don't have the economy to keep up with the macro. Yeah, so we have like a round of vultures that are coming out here, and then we're gonna have another round of vultures that are coming out here, and then we're just gonna move out. So this is just gonna be a ton of tanks. Trying to take a third at 11 minutes. So I like the idea that we're scanning ahead to try and see if there's army here we have to worry about. There isn't. But there is an observer watching the army. So yeah, I feel like once this moves out, this is just going to be kind of game again. Like, because, you know, what can Protoss do? They're so behind. What can they do to stop this? So it's a nice job trying to flank the army with Bagoons. I think there's just way too many tanks. Yeah, that's just gonna melt, and these goons here are gonna melt. It's just too many, and there's too much stuff in front. But I like the idea of trying to, you know, hit from multiple angles. This is just way too much. And we have the next macro cycle out. Yeah, just ignore the DTs. Just like, oh, or you could do that. Yeah, so we're gonna unsiege and then move forward. It's like you have so many tanks and so much mech and so much macro. So nice job keeping the contain here and cutting off the pathing for the workers. So I feel like now, like, again, you know, it's just, what can you do? You know, I have 4 goons and a giant contain outside. What can I do? So once again, very good play from Father's Belt. I like the patience and just defending the Bulldog play, and then just going straight into 5-fact. You know, and now this is Terran's game to lose. GG. Alright. Nice timings, nice execution from Father's Belt there. I like that. I liked the idea to do and aggressive play. Um, I like the idea of doing a bulldog attack. Um, because it's an old build. The thing is that like I don't feel like the attacks were executed well, so I feel like definitely the Protoss needs to work on the execution of such attacks. But even against the position they were fighting in, by the time the attack hit in both games, um, our turret was already started. So, the Protoss is on a clock for the attack to work. And there were already like 3 or 4 tanks, and one of them was on high ground in a good sniping position. I just feel like this Terran was just ready for it, both games, and it didn't work, and they were behind. So, that's what happens. That's what happens when you do a one base all in like that. But it's not a bad idea to mix stuff like that in. All right, on to the next series. I love the ideas from Mini Ranak. I love the ideas, and I love the game plan. Just I would probably like to see better execution, but I'm execution's hard. Execution's hard, so I understand. All right, we're gonna go into Whirlwind versus Bigums, Bingus Khan versus Summit Wind, another TVP. I'm a big fan of Bingus Khan. I'm becoming a big fan of Bingus Khan, and I like both these players. I like the games I've seen from them both. So we'll see what happens. All right. In the top right are White Terran. It is Summit Wind, also known as Whirlwind. And in the top left are Spicy Brown Mustard Protoss. It is Bingus Khan, also known as Bigums. Another TVP. Ooh, kind of a oh, but I like how he's building it here. Okay, so he's gonna try and build a wall and stop a zealot, but this is kind of late at 1:04. So Protoss is scouting really early. Trying to just get a jump on the location. And he successfully reaches the location before the wall is finished. No zealot, we're at 15 supply, so there's no zealot this game. So, you know, the wall is kind of unnecessary, but I understand the precaution. So far, nothing to see here, just a 23 Nexus. Yeah, I would definitely... I like the idea of building the goon, the third goon. Good. I was actually just about to say, with this close to location, I would definitely build a third goon for sure. Is a little bit bold to leave your ramp completely undefended when, you know, there could be a vulture. We haven't really confirmed if this is a vulture first build or not, so it is a little bold. But you know, for this build, this is going to be a 2-fact build, and we are going to push out with tanks. So having these 3 goons here does actually work out pretty well. But this is like just like a classic, you know, push to worry about. Ooh! Oh my gosh! He totally snipes the tank. But the goons, man. I mean, sorry, the Marines. The Marines are just doing their job. Wow, what a push. This is exactly, when you go 2-fact, this is the kind of push you're trying to do. You know, you want to keep everything together, keeping the tank alive, and the firepower from the tank is just going to totally make the goons run. Nice job pulling probes. I think he is just going to hold this with that probe pull. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe he is. How many... Oh man, these need to be building more. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, the mine connects. Sorry. Oh my gosh, this does not get stopped. There's 2 tanks now and 2 goons. We do snipe some of the Marines, but this is way too many tanks. I think this is over. This is just way too many tanks. Oh my gosh. And another... Dude, these mine connects are so brutal. And we're just rallying more stuff over. What a brutal... Oh my god. What a way to start this off. Nice job, yeah. Oh my gosh. GG. That is a brutal... Oh my god, that is such a brutal GG. It's like you want to stay in and fight. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well done. That was a very well executed. I'm telling you, dude. At this level, at tier 3, TVP is scary for the Protoss. It's actually, I mean, just build 2 factories and push. It's insane how hard that is to stop at tier 3. Very well done. Alright, let's see what game 2 looks like. Alright, do we have anything? Nope. Okay. Alright, in the bottom left, sorry, in the bottom right on Vermeer, our brown Terran. Sorry, our white, no, it's not white. It's like sky blue. Like metallic blue. I'm not sure what to call that. Anyway, I'm just totally getting this wrong. Let's start that over. Alright, in the bottom right on Vermeer are our light gray Terran. That looks a lot more like gray than blue to me. Our light gray Terran, it is Summit Wind. And in the bottom left, our brown Protoss, it is, whoops, sorry guys, it is Bingus Khan. I swear the next mouse I get, I don't know if I'm going to do wired. And my setup, this wired mouse is such a pain in the neck. Alright. But I like the latency of the wired mouse, so I don't know. Anyway. So I like that we're building a barracks just right by the ramp. Yeah, again, you know, the scouting before 13 is kind of unnecessary in this matchup. Unless you want a gas steal, then it's totally necessary. There is that. But yeah, usually if you're Protoss and you scout before 13, you're really taking a risk for the long game because you're really sacrificing your economy and your economic efficiency in the early game. And you need that efficiency to hit your timings perfectly or satisfactorily. You're not going to hit them perfectly at this level, but you can certainly hit them very well. So, you know, you need to have that early game economic efficiency in order to hit your timings as Protoss, and you can't get that if you scout on 13. So, it's actually, for Protoss specifically, like for Terran, it's kind of unnecessary to scout before 13, just because there's nothing really to worry about. But for Protoss, you are actually hurting yourself if you scout earlier than 13. You're hurting your own economy. Now, if you want a gas steal, on the other hand, it's totally worth it. And if you want to follow that up with the zealot marching across the map, yeah, it's totally worth it. All right. But yeah, ideally, like if you're talking about best practices, yeah, you're really sacrificing your economy with the 13 scout. So, you know, do with that information what you will, but just know that, you know, in the long run, you are hurting your timings. We have another zealot across the map. But look, is this the legendary zealot goon? It is. It's a 2-gate zealot goon. Oh, it's zealot goon. Okay, it's the 2-gate variant. Yeah, so with a gas seal and no factory, this is actually pretty pretty rough. But the zealots do get cleaned up. And it is 5 minutes, and Protoss doesn't have a natural nexus. But it looks like the Protoss is going for a DT, so that's all right. Now, if the Terran does decide to two-fact again, and we have some DTs mixed in with Dragoons, this could actually be a play that works in the Protoss's favor, because the DTs are invisible, right? They can help focus fire down tanks when Dragoons aren't present. They can help just totally wipe the floor of Marines. So if Protoss does actually decide to follow this Citadel up with a DT, that would actually not be a bad way to go if you could pull it off and make it work. But it looks like they're not going to right away. It looks like they're actually trying to get Robo and get observers. Or maybe shuttles. Maybe they're trying to do a DT drop. I'm not sure. But we do have tank on the high ground and siege almost done. So these goons are going to have to back off momentarily here. Probably want to put the tank even like here. Like, why not? Or here on the ledge. So we're going for a Reaver. Still not sure why we built the Citadel for the DT tech if we're going Reaver, but okay. I'm down for this. Try something new. Terran, meanwhile, it looks like adding 2 more factories, going up to 4 fact. So I really feel like this is a good move. Although I'm not sure I like this factory place. I mean, I guess it could work. It's kind of close though. I had to zoom in a little bit. Yeah, it'll work. It'll work. I wouldn't put a machine shop there though. So if I'm reading this right, and Terran does decide to go for a 4-fact timing push, this, oh wow, maybe it is going to be a, sure, okay. Maybe that will be a machine shop. I hope a tank doesn't spawn here, or a vulture or something doesn't spawn here and get stuck though. So this is interesting. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with this 4-factory timing push. I'm kind like when I see a 4-factory, I'm used to seeing some Goliaths mixed in, but I don't see an armory, so I'm not sure we're going to see that. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen, how the push is going to play out. But you know, we have vultures on the map, kind of laying mines around and trying to get some vision. These are enough goons to push them back, but this is kind of the point where Terran can actually take total control of the map. You know, once they get some mines out, and they get their tanks to fortify, and they actually have some vultures running around on the map, they can actually like control things pretty well. So on the whole, I like Summit Wind's position very well. It is also worth noting, of course, the supply and worker differential. Bingus Khan is down a substantial amount of workers, considering no all-ins were done. Right. No attacks have been executed. It's just been, you know, some light harassment and macro. So, all things considered, you know, yeah, Bingus Khan is low on workers, which isn't good. Also, lower in supply as well. Yeah, Summit Wind just has way more units on the map. And with this 4-factory, oh my god, this is just all tanks. That's awesome. With this 4-factory tank push, I'm really liking Summit Wind's position here. I really think they're going to be able to bust this, just run across and bust at this point. Yeah. Wow. Nice nice spread of tanks, and I like the slow leapfrogging forward with tanks. This is, yeah, these Zealots are just going to walk right into there's going to be tank fodder. Oh man, yeah, those zealots aren't doing anything. Really good positioning. I'm really liking the tank spread from Summit Wind. Um, definitely trying to keep them not clumped so that they won't like splash each other. GG. So that was a nice kind of slow, methodical, and patiently executed push. And I like that, we just decided to kind of go for a 4 factory tank push. Pretty straightforward. But, so very, very good. I do feel like that game, I do feel like Protoss, we were a little bit behind in our macro. And I also feel like in game one as well, like we were a little bit slow in our builds. So I definitely feel like just by casting these games, I do feel like the Protoss could have done better. Could have done, I think, a bit better without all the cheeky shenanigans and just hitting their timings. You know, just get one. Like, you'd be surprised how um comfortably a build just coalesces and comes together once you start hitting your critical timings consistently. Like, it's just like, oh, okay, it just works. I have all these units when I need them. You know, it really is like, I mean, yeah. So like scouting on 11 and like trying to do gas steals and all the probe shenanigans. I really think that was in both games. I think that was a detriment. Um, but it happens. Some games, you can do that. You can do those probe shenanigans and those gas steals and just totally throw the Terran off base and make something work. So um, didn't work this time, unfortunately. All right. All right, and our last series for the night, it is a TBZ. I have heard wonderful things about this series. It is Rennek versus Firehex. All right. And game one is going to be on Deja Vu. I swear it's like we've been here before. I mean, I don't know. So, so once again, this is Deja Vu. It's a 4-player map, and obviously, like, this is your natural, right? And it's kind of like Fighting Spirit, where from your natural you have kind of a natural third that you can kind of walk to, and a middle ground that you can kind of defend your natural third from. A little bit more compact, a little bit more small form factor than Fighting Spirit, but the same basic layout idea, and pretty simple, straightforward 12 base map. Um, lots of open space in the middle, um, to take engagements and stuff on. So, really just a nice map. Okay, and we're off. In the top right are Blue Terran. It is Fire Hex. And in the bottom right are Red Zerg. It is Rennek. All right. So Ranak, by the look of it, going for a hatch first, and Firehex doing the good old Terran barracks first. So very curious to see what Renak's plan with this kind of faster two base economy is going to be. Um, you know, either two hatch lurker or two hatch muta, I feel like are just great options in their own right. Um, I am a firm advocate, however, for lurkers in tier 3. Firehex, of course, going for the good old 18cc. He's going to build a second barracks, okay. He isn't going to quite go for the academy just yet. Of course, layer on the way. Nothing, out of the ordinary here. I think one of the question marks is going to be how how early are they going to take this gas here? Academy is now on the way for Firehex. And of course, we have a defensive bunker coming down as well. Just kind of securing our base up a little bit, making sure no lings run by and stuff. Also, just Marines live 10 times as long once they're in a bunker, which is great. Chasing away the scout. eBay coming down as well. So we are going to go into a spire, which means we should be seeing, yep, there's the extractor. So we are going to go into a muta build from this. But the spire started at like I think it started at closer to like maybe 5 minutes or 5:15. So I have a feeling that this mutas are gonna hit just a smidgen later. A smidgen, like really just a smidgen, not much. And I really like the sunken wall here. This might might be a little late. The marine bust is on the way down. Nope. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. That's not a lot. And turrets are going to be going down as well. Getting ready for those pesky mutalisks. Nice. Okay. So far, I'm liking the play out of Fire Hex. This is very just kind of, you know, just good TVZ. I'm liking the mutas as well. Oh, nice. Nice pullback. Didn't lose too much bio. I love, look at that, keeping that nice clumped. Looking for, nice, we're looking for the Marine Army. Good, good Muta Micro out of Renak. Very good Muta Micro. So Fire Hex is going up into just kind of go up into SK, you know, going up into starports and science vessels. Got 2-port coming out. Now just starting to add barracks. Okay, he was on 4 for quite a while. And Redak, meanwhile, just adding more mutas. And going up the hive as well. Oh, nice scan. Sees the hit in third. Is gonna try and make a break for it, but I don't know. Are the mutas gonna make the army turn? We do have a dispatch of Marines. It looks like they are going to be able to take out this base. This is quite a lot of bio. Nice catch from Fire Hex here. Looks like he is going to totally erase this third base. Meanwhile, the mutas, I think, are sharking around. Oh, nice. Gonna go into Crazy Zerg from this. Beautiful. The mutas are sharking around, but they are totally trying to buy time, I think, for the Ultralisk switch that's on the way. This is a very I'm really liking the switch into Crazy Zerg. If we can, I mean, if he can hold this third here, his newly formed third at the natural, you know, I think he'll be able to pull a really beautiful win out of this game. The Ultralisk armor is just finished. It just finished, and ground armor level 2 is on the way. And Mutalisks are just sharking around the map, looking for a really good angle to exploit. That's so funny. Good good irradiates, good call, you know, picking out the Ultralisks. But yeah, is it going to be enough? I don't know. I mean, well, one of them is about to die, so it is going to be enough. It's going to kill some of them. That's a lot of lings, though. Ooh, nice. Nice. Beautiful. So, beautiful macro out of Firehex this game. And also just good job picking out those Ultralisks before things got really out of hand. So I'm really just liking how this game was executed here. GG. Very well done. Again, just beautiful macro from the Terran. I love the ideas from Rennick. So, excellent job. Game 2. Wait. All right. Sorry. It's the wrong one. There we go. All right. Game 2. We are back to Vermeer. Vermeer, for those of you who don't know, again, kind of a modern classic. If you've been playing StarCraft for a minute, you've probably heard of Vermeer. So Vermeer is kind of, when this map came out a few years ago, it really was like, it really had like a lot of really neat ideas. These little patches of high ground, they're like little mini ramps. You can stage your army here. You can put siege tanks and lurkers up here. So these ramps were really just like a beautiful thing with this map. With this map, it's kind of one of the unique little features about it. But another thing, like I was saying earlier about the territories and stuff, like you can really think of each base area as like a territory, right? So this is actually a 16 base map rather than a 12, and right, each main base has 3 natural expansions. Which is another really just unique feature of the map, is that you actually literally have 3 natural expansions rather than 2 natural expansions, and then kind of a third one's kind of up in the air, right, as far as where it is, depending on the map. But what's really cool is this area here. All this area here can be thought of as like a territory, right? So, if you have a mobile army and you're trying to defend different locations, right? I mean, you can easily stage your army like here and then defend advances here, kind of go out and defend advances that are coming here, like kind of flank advances on this base here. So, it's really has um, a nice cohesive territory. And of course, you can even think of this as like a giant choke point, if you will, right? Like, of course, this is a choke point for your natural, but you can even think of this as like a choke point for your territory. So, very, just some very interesting topographical ideas with this map, and of course, just a very small center. But yeah, just a great map. A very well, I think, even still to this day, this is probably one of the most well thought out maps I think that um, StarCraft has ever had. So, anyway, game 2 on Vermeer. Oh crap, do I have Pillar Box on? Wow. That's great. I didn't even realize I've had Pillar Box on this whole time. Oh well, it works, I guess. Um, okay. Um, I'm not gonna fiddle with it now. We're going with it. We have a Pillar Box stream. All right. In the top right on Vermeer are Red Zerg. It is Renak, and in the bottom right are Blue Terran. It is Firehex. Once again, going for the hatchery first. Terran going to get the first scout. Although Renak is going to shortly get the second scout with the Overlord. Very good. I like the the macro out of the Terran. Um, you know, very good time to start building a supply depot. Constant marine and SCV production. Just very good macro. So we have an in-base macro hatch for Renak. Um, um, hmm. So is this going to be a 3-hatch muta instead of a 2? Like a 2-hatch muta but with a macro hatch? I'm not sure. I would really like to see a lurker play. I am a but, you know, I'm personally a very big proponent of lurkers. But let's see what so we do have the second gas. This could be a 3-hatch muta. Although this could also be a lurker play. The ground armor makes me wonder. Oh no, okay. No, it's just a spire with a macro hatch. Okay. I'm not sure if I mean I don't know. I don't know. I think the Sunkens are going to be up in time. Yeah, they're going to be up in time. This isn't going to do anything. So Renak gonna go for 9 mutas instead of I think it was 6 or 7 mutas last time. So definitely gonna go for more. Yeah. Assuming we have the minerals and gas for it. His army's out here kind of looking around, so he's trying to see if there's any bases that he has to worry about. And otherwise, you know, keeping a soft contain, you know. Although 9 mutas plus 3 more, this is going to be 12, I think. Oh no, that's just the last 3 that were being built. let's see what these bad boys are gonna do. Muta's once again sharking around looking for an angle. Oh, nice. Gonna totally take out a turret before the Marines are done. And Hive coming up behind this. So once again going for the crazy Zerg play. Nice job just totally taking out the reinforcements there. We do have a push, stim push coming up in here trying to break the sunken line, but I think there's just too many sunkens. So nice hold from Renak. I love how deployed the Marines. Deployed the Lings to protect the Sunkens, and also had the Mutas come in from the flank as well. So I like the pincer defense. And unlike the previous game, we're right now pretty even in workers and supply, which is oh, I like this nice stem, but not the best place you want to be as Terran. Or just in general, when you're fighting against Zerg and you're not Zerg, you generally don't want to be even supply. Anyway, so the Marines are kind of coming up for another counterattack. We have a hidden third up in the corner. And right now, I feel like we have much more map control that we can actually get away with hiding a third like this. So this game, I actually, well, I didn't dislike it last game, but I think that this is going to work much better this game. But the Terra macro machine is kicking in. We are now up to 7 racks. And we are literally just throwing out a couple macro cycles and sending Marines up. So. Ooh. Oh, a Nidus. Oh, nice. We have Nidus networks. That's cool. So the Ultralisks are out. And Ultralisk armor is just about done. There is +2 armor right now. And that's about to finish for +4. So these things are just going to be unstoppable. And I mean, look at this. What can you do against +5 armor? I mean, these things can literally just move across the map. That's nice. Look at this. A lot more Ultralisks. just sending small wave after small wave, whittling away. I think we probably do have maybe... No, I don't think we have any irradiates left. No, we do. Okay. We do have more Ultralisks coming. I do think this is finally going to break in. There we go. Nice job. So the Crazy Zerg play worked much better this game. Just trying to finally break up this ramp. These little bitty ramps are really a pain to get up, especially if you have bulky units like Ultralisks. But we're finally up, and we are in the main. GG. All right. Excellent, excellent game out of Fire Hex. I mean, sorry, out of Renak. The ideas panned out. I like to see it. All right. Going to the last game of the night. Oh, sorry, before I start this. Alright. Last game is the tiebreaker, and this is going to be Butter. Butter is a 2-player map. You start on the right side in the corners, and there's some cool features about this map. Okay. This choke point here into your main is flat. There's no ramp or anything here. This is a flat choke, but it's still pretty narrow. And this path right here, I mean, the way you get to one natural to the other is a straight shot. So it's literally a straight shot to the opponent's natural. So yeah, those are kind of like the two. The flat main choke point, and then the straight shot from natural to natural is kind of like the two defining, I think, characteristics of Butter. Although, another kind of neat feature about this map are these hidden bases on the far left side of the map. There's some nice, you know, like this base right here is a very tightly cornered base. This is a very tightly cornered base. This has, like, if you can control this high ground ramp, you can defend this base. So some pretty interesting, like, expansion ideas and hidden base ideas on the far left side of the map as well. Um, anyway, on to butter. Okay. In the top right, our red Zerg, it is Renak. And in the bottom right, our blue Terran, it is Firehex. All right. So once again we're opening up hatch first, and we got kind of our normal 12 scout. Um, so nice standard series. In tier 3, it's totally okay to just do the normal standard stuff over and over and over. So seeing like a hatch first into mutas, right, and 18cc into SK, stuff like that. Like it's pretty. It's totally okay. Um, Again, so in CPL, we're more focused on improving and learning the game. And part of learning the game is doing the same opening, doing like the same opener and playing it a dozen different ways, doing the same overall, you know, overall early mid game concept, and really refining how you micro and execute the attacks and stuff, and adapting to different situations. So given all of that, it's totally okay. You know, in CPL, it's a totally safe place to do the same standard build over and over and over and over. Because this is a league that is so focused on improvement, self-improvement, and it's focused on learning how things work. So obviously you have to like repeat and troubleshoot and stuff. So if you're doing a standard build, it is totally okay to do it, 2-3 games in a row in CPL. Particularly at tier 3, it's totally okay to do the same build over and over and over and over and over. If it works. If it's standard and it's the way you normally play, it's totally okay to do it over and over. Obviously, the higher up in skill you get, the better in micro and timings you are. The more the more vulnerable I feel like you are to just your opponent figuring your build out and knowing how to play against it the next game. So, but in tier 3, don't really have to worry about that. So that's another kind of nice thing about being able to cast these games is that you really get to see um, people learning standard stuff. So another reason why I like tier 3. Okay. So we have the eBay is finishing, and we're gonna have the turrets go up. Obviously, probably scanning to confirm like whether it's a spire or not. And we have the defensive sunkens going up as well. Nice, 4 sunkens, and of course the move out is coming as well. We've seen this play out. Move out with the bio. You don't die to sunkens. The spire is just about done, and the mutas should be starting. We have another in-base hatch, so we're gonna have the third macro hatch, and really gonna try and go up to those 9 mutas. Certainly, Firehex is ready for the mutas. In his base anyway, he's ready for the mutas. There we go. Okay. So looks like we have a bus timing coming in. I don't know how, I mean, this is pretty defensible. And we have a nice, oh nice, I love the flanking of the mutas. Just like sharking around and picking Marines off. Yeah, if he, oh my gosh, I wonder, can he just like get all these Marines and just move up and bust this before the Ultralisk? I mean, he has a lot. Can he just like literally send them up there before the first Ultralisks even pop out? I feel like this is when he should do it. I don't know, guys. I feel like this is when he should like gather his Marines up here and just send them all right. Let's go straight for Valhalla, boys. Valhalla's on the other side of those sunken colonies. Seriously, I think you should do it. They just send them all in and stem. Do it before the Ultras get there. I have to say that Renak, this entire series so far, like I've casted a lot of games that have mutas and stuff. Renak has so far the best muta micro that of all the CVTs that I've been casting this season. This is the best muta micro I've seen. I just wanted to throw that out there. Oh, I like the idea of throwing siege tanks in, but it's too late. The ultra. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. It's too late. The ultras are out. And they're wreaking havoc. Oh, behind this is beautiful. Behind this, there's even more Ultralisks and Lings on the way. Behind this, Zerg is trying to take a third base. Very good to keep Terran, if he can, keep Terran pinned on too. Look at this. At armored, they're just shredding everything. Oh, Irradiate does go down. Nice Irradiate. That one is going to get melted. Yeah, see, so this guy's like out here looking for hidden hatcheries and stuff. Oh man, they just missed the vessel. Bad. The vessels are trying to come into this end and maybe irradiate the Ultralisks as they're rallying. Oh man. Alright, so it looks like we have maybe a couple more Ultralisks, and then we're going to have probably another round of Zerglings before we move in again. Well, once again, Firehex's macro is really kicking in here, going up to already on 6 factories. Six barracks. Not far away from like 7 and 8 barracks. And I mean, just constantly pumping out the bio. This has been a very low worker count game. But yep, there is a third over there. I think overall, I like the Terrans' position. I feel like they're in a position to just out macro the Zerg. Again, you know, we had one game where just Terran macro won. And I feel like now that we're at the point where we have 6 barracks, yeah. There was a drop I missed. Are these oh my gosh, cracklings are done. Oh man, and they're 3-3 almost. Let's see where this drop is gonna go. There's a lot of concentrated fire here at the natural, but I do think that these ultras can make it through. Oh wait, no, they may not be able to. There's 2-1 raids now. That's why they're killing them so quickly, because they're upgraded. Imagine that. Kind of small macro cycle after small macro cycle. So Renek is going to actually take care of this third base here. Really put a hamper on Fire Hex's economy. But I don't know. Well, actually, yeah, he's mined out in one base. Half his workers are gone. If he breaks this, he could win. Like if Renak breaks this right here, he could actually win this game. He already is kind of very close to winning. He's out mining the Terran, and he just totally took out Terran's third and half of their workers. So we'll see. Is he gonna break it? Can he break it? He breaks it. All right. Well done. GG. Renak takes the series 2-1. All right. That was a wild series. That was a wild series. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Well done. Well done. GG's to Firehex. The macro out of Firehex was just incredible. This this guy is just so, like, I mean, I feel like Firehex is so close to tier 2 if he's not tier 2 yet. Like, oh my god, he should be. His micro is insane. His vulture micro is insane, and he's certainly a very strong macro player. He literally, I mean, he in one of these games he outright steamrolled his opponent with macro. So the macro is certainly there. The micro is certainly there. I think the timings are there. Actually, for both of these players, the timings were just crisp. They were there. You know, the turret timings were perfect for holding the mutas every game. The sunken timings on Renak were just solid. They were just there every game. There were a couple points where I was worried about his defense, but no, they were up every game just in time. So the timings for both these players are just incredible. Renak has, I think, some of the best Muta micro I've seen so far in tier 3. So yeah, just, but yeah, what a series. What a series. All right, GG's, well done. We're gonna look for a stream to raid here. We'll see if any of my We'll see if I see any familiar faces on. If not, I'll tap out. Um, but wow. Uh, I feel like there's some things that maybe could be tightened up a little bit, but honestly, from what I saw, um, you know,
Wait, wait, what? Oh, oh, oh,
from
okay.
what I saw, it was just.
Okay. Oh,
Uh, I think. I think I would have liked to see out of Renak. I think I would have liked to see less small skirmishes and more gathering chunks of army up and sending them in. So more like chunkier skirmishes, but they worked. You know, that feels like a tiny criticism because this game, this series, the small skirmishes worked and they totally whittled away. You know, constantly. So, you know, um, but yeah, kind of. This is more kind of like just a longevity kind of thought. Um, let's see. Who's on StarCraft? Anybody on? Sure. We'll crash Vent. We'll go and raid Vent. Vent's on. All right. All right. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Coming up, we have uh, Vint, who is a Protoss in CPL. So say hello to Vint. Um, of course, Vint, thank you for showing up today and saying hello in the chat. Fuzzy Branch, Crimson Joe, Meek Terran, Art of Turtle, Renak, Mutiler. Thank you all so much for showing up and supporting your CPL teammates. Um, if you aren't in CPL and you're watching, thank you so much for supporting CPL by watching. And I hope you enjoyed these games. And we'll be back hopefully soon with some more Tier 3. All right. Say hello to Vint and have a great night, guys. Thank you so much.